Okay, guys, so this is the next step. Now we need to, instead of using these static dates, we need to get dynamic dates. So instead of getting single objects like here and an array of check-in and checkout dates, we're just going to send an array of check-ins and checkout dates instead of single objects, because this is just simpler for us. So let's just begin. Let me just show you the structure. Here we have a booking. You guys already have seen this. We have the bookings table with the property ID, check-in date, checkout, and the Airbnb ID if it's coming from Airbnb. We have the property table, name, and the Airbnb URL. Nothing really important here for what we are going to do. So let's just go to Wized tutorials, and I have already built it. As I said before, I won't go into depth into this. I won't create them from scratch, but I will explain every single step here. So we're first of all querying all records from bookings. We're returning this as a stream because we're going to loop through each one of these. When do I return this as a stream? Is only when I'm going to loop through the elements. If I want a list, I can select the list single. By the way, this can be for another tutorial, but that's pretty much it. So how are we querying the records? We have a custom query where the checkout is more or equals than now, and the property ID is the property ID that we're looking for. Why do we have the checkout to be more or equal than now? Because we don't want to get bookings in the past, and this is why it makes sense. Because the dates in the past are already blocked by our calendar. As you guys can see right here, we have a min date. And the min date is today, literally right now. So people cannot select dates in the past. So that's pretty cool. So obviously we don't want to send data that we don't need to the front end, right? So that's pretty much it. By the way, this is pretty cool. This is right now, as I said, this is an static example, but it could be dynamic. That's why we have a property ID. We could connect all of this logic with the Webflow CMS. That would be really cool. But it will be just a really long example. But now let's just continue here. We're querying all the records of bookings. We're returning that as a stream. Then we're creating a variable of block dates. And then for each booking as item, we're pushing an array inside this array. So if I run this, I'm just going to publish it. And I'm going to run this with the property ID number 1 because that's the only property that we have. And we are already getting the array that we needed. Obviously, we don't have any keys. We only have the values because that's what we need. And that's it. So we're just going to copy our whole endpoint. And obviously in Wized, let me just clear this out. We already have our Wized tutorials base URL right here. So we don't have to add that. By the way, what is this? Is the base URL from our folder. So in here we have folders, right? This is the one, Wized tutorials. If I copy this right here, this is exactly what Wized is expecting, the base URL. If I paste it, it's literally the same. Now, what else? From there, we just want the last part of the endpoint. So just go back, just copy this part right here. That's everything that we need. And we're just going to do another record here. We're just going to call it booking system tutorial. Oh no, the folder, sorry. Booking system tutorial. And that's it. Let's call it. By the way, always use lowercase here for the name of the request. Get underscores, get block dates. App will be Wized tutorials, and we're going to return as a string, importing with Wized v2 the last part of the endpoint. And this is a get request, if I'm not wrong, get request obviously because we're getting data. The URL, by the way, in get requests you can only set URL parameters. In post request, put or something else, you can set a body. Important to know that, but that's fine. Now we're just going to say property ID, and as this example is static and we don't have nothing to work with, we're just going to say return 1 because it's an integer, it doesn't need quotes. Fantastic. So now if we run this, we got the data. And now the pretty cool thing is that now we can just set up our calendar, and instead of using static data, now we can just do get our request right here and replace that. And now if we refresh this, oh, let me just, I probably need to set it as, because this is getting just weird, I probably need to set it as a variable, so give me a sec here. So let's do let block dates equals, oh yeah, block dates is fine. And now we're just going to use block dates right here, and we're going to paste it right here. And now we should get a proper calendar. Give me a sec. Did I just break something? Block dates. Oh, we're not triggering the request. That's why. My mistake. Sorry for that. So obviously we need to. This is pretty cool, you know. I want to build live. This is something I would love to do. So just going to call it trigger, or just call it get block dates. By the way, in the name of the actions, you can use uppercases, letters, spaces. That's fine. Event, and now we can just do, instead of page finish loading, we can do page starts loading, the conditional system tutorial, fantastic. And then we can, instead of run the function, we can perform a request, and it can be get block dates. And something that we can change as well here, instead of page finishes loading, we want request finishes, and that will be get block dates. And we want to return this if the status equals 200. So that's it, true. So cool. Now we refresh the page. Now we have the dynamic dates. So that's awesome. Now, next step, I want to do it in the same video. Now we need to send dates. Now we need to, you know, the selection that we have here, we need to send it to Xano. And that's pretty simple because we already have it set it up. Now, whenever we select something, as you guys remember, we already have the variables, check-in tutorial and checkout tutorial. Fantastic. Let's do it. So Xano, we have another API endpoint. This is a really simple one that is called bookings, a post request where we have the property ID, check-in date, and checkout. We have some preconditions. Whenever you don't select anything, you will see an error message that we will set up in a minute. Oh, damn, sorry, my mistake. But let me just, before we continue here, I don't think I changed the attributes for those elements. Form booking error message _2 and size success message _2. Fantastic, cool. Let's just publish. And now we can continue. So let's first trigger the error message with the request. So as you can see, yeah, we have a precondition. If you don't select anything, it will show you an error message and select a range of dates. If you select the dates, it will just create a booking, and that's pretty much it. We will trigger the success message with Wized with the front end. So nothing really complex here, just real simple. So let's do it. Once again, let's copy our endpoint. Let's go to our request. Let's go to booking systems. We can clone this. It's fine. Book property, for example. We'll replace this to be only dash / booking. It will be a post request. Now we can send a body. I always prefer to send data in the body. Not really wide, no difference here. Some things that are different. Sometimes you cannot send certain type of strings or things in the URL parameters. You need to send it in the body. So let's do it. So here we have property ID, if I'm not wrong. Property ID, check-in and checkout. Come on. Okay. Property ID. We are going to return, as I said, this is a static sample, so we will return 1. It can be dynamic and it will be definitely much cooler, but for the time being, we're just going to make it really simple. And the check-in, we're going to return, what just happened? We're going to return the check-in tutorial. And for the checkout, we're going to return. I love to, you know, because I was doing not such a complex examples, but it's just great to be able to share with, you know, with this knowledge with you guys. And yeah, I'm just happy to be making this tutorial. Okay, we have the checkout tutorial here, variable, and that's it. That's all we need. So now if we refresh the page, and if I run this, obviously it's not set up yet, but if I run this, I get an error message right here. Select a range of dates. Okay, cool. Let me just refer to the attribute so we can get the updates here to the text that we had. So cool, we got an error message here. Let me just run it again. So now first, let me just set up the submission of the booking. Now let's just call this create booking. Let's just call it submit booking. Event, it will be element, form booking 2, on event, submit, prevent default. We're going to perform a request. Booked property. Does it have the same name? Oh, no way. Let me just check something. We have here create booking. Okay, book property. Okay, that's fine. As well, we wouldn't have allowed us to set the same name for an action. So book property, cool. And that's it. We don't have any conditionals. Now, we want to as well show error message. Let's call it display. So let's just do form error message 2, I guess. I can. Oh no, form error message. Where is the form error message 2? Oh, was it not saved? Let's just take a look to it. Form booking. Oh, error message 2. Okay, hopefully it's saved now. Let's just publish, because we need another attribute because it's been affected by another element. So, well, we could use the same attribute, but we don't want to make it, you know, complex. We just want to make it simple. By the way, I think I should make a, you know, let me know, guys, if I should make you know, a crash course about Wized. What can you do? What shouldn't do? Because I know that's you know, whenever you start, it's kind of like a complex topic. Hey, can I reuse this attribute here or no? And I think that might be interesting. So now we have booking form, booking error message here, and we will do 2 things. First of all, we want to set the text, plain text. We're going to return the error message from here. What else? We want to not set a class, but we want to set a style. It will be the style display. And let me just get this. And let's do if. Oh, let's remove the return. If doesn't equal null, then we want to return block or flex or whatever you guys want. I'm just going to keep it as it is. So you can see it's displayed. Fantastic. What else? We want as well the success message. And for that, I want to use some GSAP. So it's just something really simple. Let me just get the library here. So this is how, just to show you how can you use it. So let's just go we just want the basic part of it. CDN. Let's just go into Webflow. Let's just go here and let's just paste it in the body. Let's just publish, and now we can use GSAP. So we want to submit booking successful. Let's just call it successful booking. Why did I type it like this? Successful booking. Okay, and now we can do after the request. Request finishes, book property, conditional, book property that is status. So let's do return book property that status equals 200. Then we want to do something. So we want to run a function. And here we want to do something as well. Let me just, what's the attribute that we have for the element? Form booking error message 2. No, it's the successful one. Form booking success message. So we can do this. First of all, we want to create a timeline in GSAP. So let's do let tl gsap.timeline. And now we want to as well let, let's call it success message equal document that query selector, and we are going to select it by the attribute. So we can do here, and we can do with equal our attribute, and that's it. We got the element. So now we can just do tl that 2, and let me just, I don't know if it's because I'm getting started with GSAP, and I just want to take a look to the basic example here, because we just need a really simple example timeline. Right here, this is what we need. Perfect. Cool. Let's just copy this. Instead of GSAP, now we can use timeline 2. Instead of the ID, we can just get the element. And now we want to, from white, I think it's already hidden, so you can do to 0, because I think we have moved it, and as well opacity. I just want to keep that duration. Opacity will be 100, and duration will be 0.5. Not only that, but we want like an ease, and the ease will be, give me a sec here. We have, where's the ease? Easing right here, fantastic. Let's just get this one. And wait, where we're at. Let's just delete this part right here. Let's just paste it. And that's it. Not only we want that, but as well we want to now transform that into 100y. We want to change the opacity to be 0 again, and we want the duration to be nothing. We want here a delay of 1 second, because we don't want this to happen instantly. Okay, so now if we did everything correctly, we should see what's going on here. If I book something, we get the error message. If I select the dates, for example, from, let's just say some weird dates, from May to 1st of May 10. So if I book something, oh, what just happened? Did it create the booking? Yeah, it did. But obviously our animation didn't work. So we want to do something here. Booking status equals 200. Yeah, that's true. So what are we doing wrong here? 2 delay of 1 second. Let GSAP timeline. We publish Webflow, right? Have we refreshed this? Oh, what just happened? I don't know if I should pause the video. Okay, just publish again. Let me just refresh Wized. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm splitting this tutorial into a few steps because it's important. Just go back to booking system tutorial. Come on. Okay, cool. Now let me just go here. Probably the dates are already blocked. So let's block from the date from the 10 to the 19th. Oh, we don't have the loading state. That's why as well. Okay, let me just do that. Sorry for that, guys. So please, let's add the loading state. And as well, the function is not working. So we'll need to fix that. We need to fix something there. So loading state, it will be element form booking button. We want to on event. By the way, we have already the class here in Webflow set up. If you haven't seen my tutorials on how to create the best loading state for buttons, you guys need to see that. As you can see, I'm just adding the class. It's loading here. So that's pretty cool. So on event, not an event, set class is loading. We want to set the class or remove it with if, or we can just do return directly. Return book property is requesting. So if it's not requesting, it's false. But if it's requesting, it will be true. But now we just want the thing to success message. If property, book property status equals 200, we want to run this function. So let me just see what are we doing wrong here. With equals form. Okay. Document and query selector. Let TL jamesabadf.timeline. Okay, we're using that. Cool. To success opacity 100, duration is powered. Okay. Let me just set this up. Is it display hidden here? Nope. So as you can see, it's 100. Now if I replace opacity, okay, it looks good. It has the 2 there. If I run this, it's not being triggered. So we're doing definitely something wrong here. Let me just do something really simple here. gsub 2. Yep. So definitely it's the jamesabadf.timeline. Let me just take a look to the timeline here. jamesabadf.timeline. Yeah, I know that is fine. Well, that's really weird. Not really sure what am I doing wrong. You said, oh, open and close. I need to call this that function. I'm so sorry. Okay. Cool. Now we can refresh the page and everything should work as expected. So we should as well see the dates blocked here in May. And now from the 19th to the 26th, property booked, fantastic. And if obviously we should, I guess we should refresh as well the page after that. So I'm just going to ask ChatGPT, refresh page. Obviously it's not the idea. We should run the request again, I guess, and run the and update the calendar. But for the time being, I'm just going to refresh the page. So let's just do that. Location. That reload. Hopefully, well, I guess it will reload as well the Wized page. So do TL right here. And we can do after here, we can call it as well as here. So yeah, we could, because we need to reload the page after the animation. So let me just take a look to gsub, or it's not necessary. I won't do it for now, I guess, because there is a way that you can just call here the function in gsub here inside one of these steps, but let's just not do it for now. So now if we refresh the page, as you can see, we have the new block dates. So fantastic. That's awesome. Once again, the 26th is not blocked, for example, because the 26th is over checkout. That's why the checkout is always available, because people can check in that date. Awesome. So we have that, and we're sending obviously that data to Xano. We're aware of that. So now this is going to be the next tutorial that we will be talking about how to send data from Xano to Airbnb and the other way around as well, from Airbnb to Xano. So let's get right into it.